Hey guys, and welcome to Buildable Brand. Today we have a Squarespace tutorial where we talk about editing the text on your Squarespace site. We're going to talk about the different things you can do, changing your settings, and to show you just how easy it is to update a template with all of your text. So let's jump right in. So let's jump into our handy dandy test page. I click edit to open up my page editor. And now let's look at our text box. So on this template right now, I have a header setup and body copy. Now, if I wanted to just start off by adding my own text box, I click here by add block, scroll over until I get to a text block, add it, drag it and drop it where I want it to go, and start editing. So say I want to copy everything I have here, and I first want to add my headline. To make this easy on myself, I'm just going to copy and paste my headline text. And it doesn't look like my headline at all. So that means I need to actually change the font. So how do we do that? When we click a text box, it opens up the first level of block settings. This is the same as most other blocks in Squarespace, where I can go into the specific editing settings. I can decide if I wanted to stylize it with a background. I can change the placement and the alignment, pin it if I don't want it to move on the page, duplicate it, and of course, delete it. But for us to do things like change the headline, we're going to want to go into the text settings. And that pulls up this larger bar. Now, let's look at all the different options that we have in this bar. This little animated section right here brings up their Squarespace's AI. It's basically like ChatGPT, where you add a prompt and it goes through that whole thing. If I want to change my font, like what we were trying to do here, I click where it says paragraph and it drops down a list of all of the font and heading settings that I have already created in my site styles. Now, if you want to know how to do that, I have a video specifically where I talk about the site styles, how to set it, how to edit it, and all that good stuff. But let's assume I already have that figured out. And I just want to select my headings. So for there, I choose heading number 2 because that's my second largest. And it automatically updated it to my heading number 2. So now I just drag and drop to change the box to fit as large as I want it. And now it's good to go. But let's say I wanted to do some other edits to this headline. I go back to my edit window and let's look at all the other settings I have. So I can bold specific words or the whole thing. I can italicize. If I click this little section here, this brings up my color palettes. I can change the color. It'll automatically show me all the colors in my palette. I can use one of those, or I can click and choose a custom color. This setting, I don't think most people will use most. That's to scale the text relative to the size of this box. That's best for if you have like very short copy and you want it very large in a section. But for the most part, you probably won't be touching this that much. And then I can do different settings like adding different animations to wording, adding links. I'll talk about that later. The other thing that might be very common to use is this section here. This changes the orientation of the text, centered, change my alignment, and so on and so forth. And then I can also do different things like adding bullets, numbers, strike throughs, changing the indentation, for example, if I had bullets, and to remove all the formatting. So some of this should be very similar to any other text edit, say in like Word or Google Slides, but at least now we know where they are. So now let's work on our paragraph copy. I'm going to copy that. And since I want it to be a different font pairing, I'm going to choose to create another text box. Now you can do this within the text box if you created space, but I find that it can get a little wonky to try to have more than one text style in the same block. So I just go, I'm not for that life. I'm just going to create one box for my headline and another one for my body copy. Since I just wrote that really quick, let's fix my copy. And now you have my paragraph. Now, again, if I wanted to change this, I can click it, highlight it, and change it to say be larger like my paragraph 1 or smaller like my paragraph 2 and 3, and edit it from there. And just like my headline block, I can move the bounding box so I can determine whether I want the text to go the length of the screen or if I want it to be really small. like that. Let's talk about some of the extra things that you can do to your text box. Now that you have the basics on how to input your type, it's just as easy as copy and paste. See, this is so complex. You really needed me to tell you how to do this. But let's talk about doing something kind of cool now. This little section right here is to add a highlight. If you click this, it'll open up your highlight sections. Now, we have a lot of different things to choose from. We have underlining, kind of handwritten lines. We have circles. We have squiggly lines. We have X out and a highlight. There's a lot of different things you can do and play with here. Let's just choose the circle. Now, I can change the color. I can choose again from one of the colors in my palette, or I can choose a custom color if I wanted it something brighter or darker or not one of my main brand palette at all. I can play around with the thickness and the thin of this line, and then do other edits like changing the caps. That's like this, whether it is rounded on the end or a square. Very minute changes I can do to the section. I can also determine whether I want it in the front or the back. You can see right here, it's overlapping the D, or I can have it be behind. And one of my favorite parts is click this to turn on animation. And I have more settings there. Do I want it to draw on? Do I want it to fade on? I can choose whatever style of animation works best with whatever type of highlight I chose. And then I can choose how fast or how slow it does it. And even which direction, if I wanted to write from right to left or left to right. Or remove the animation and the highlight altogether. So that's something that you can use to add a little bit more personality to your text and animation as the viewer scrolls through your site. The next thing that we can do is add a link. So for example, if we want this whole section here to link to our contact page, we'd go over here, click link, and choose the page we want it to link to. Decide whether we want it to open in a new tab. And when we're done, it'll automatically highlight and make it an active link. Now that's your quick tutorial on how to edit the text on your Squarespace template. If you want to dive in even deeper and know how to do things like actually edit your font styles, your color styles, and things like that, then you're going to want to check out my video specifically talking about site styles. If you have any questions, just leave us a comment and we'll try to get you squared away. If this was helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more of the different tutorials that we offer here at Buildable Brand. Again, I'm Alexandria and I wish you luck in building your brand. You can totally do it. See you guys later. On to the next one.